Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Two firearms seized in Westmoreland operation. Two firearms, including a high-powered rifle, were seized Thursday morning during an operation in Lennox Big Woods, Westmoreland. The operation is being carried out by the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force. The police are asking citizens who may have information on the whereabouts of criminals in the area or other illegal firearms to contact the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force at 876-224-4483 or the JDF tip line at 876-837-8888. Hanover woman killed after returning from church. A 54-year-old woman was shot and killed on the steps of her house in Cousins Cove, Hanover, Wednesday night. Paulette Baker Frame, a businesswoman of a Cousins Cove address, had reportedly just arrived home from church when the incident occurred. According to the Hanover police, her brother picked her up from church and dropped her off at her gate. She went into her yard, her brother drove off and gunshots were heard shortly after, said a police source. Fame's brother reportedly tried reaching her by phone, but there was no answer. He reported the rush to her house and saw that she had been shot. Investigations continue. Another bank machine looted in Hanover. There has been another attempt to steal the contents of an automated banking machine ABM in western Jamaica. The most recent incident took place about 3:20 a.m. Thursday in Hopewell Square, Hanover. The circumstances surrounding the incident, said to be the second such incident reported in the parish in little over a month, are unclear at the moment. The Sandy Bay police are investigating. In January, criminals attempted to break into a machine located at a gas station in Green Island. On February 16, the Jamaica Bankers Association JBA warned in a press release that recent escalation in ABM vandalism and theft could lead to customers' inconvenience as member financial institutions prepare to take a number of steps to mitigate losses. These measures, it said, could include anything from making less cash available at the machines to removing them entirely. Citing the significant investment banks have made in providing ABMs and the convenience they offer to clients, the JBA also called for stiffer fines when the machines are vandalized. It also encouraged greater use of online banking. Police probing cause of death of farmer found near pig pen. The Arcabesa police in St. Mary are investigating the death of a farmer whose body was found with wounds to the face in close proximity to one of his pig pens on Thursday. He is 58-year-old Radcliffe Martin of a Bogaki address in Arcabesa. A police report states that a man went to visit Mr. Martin on his farm shortly after 7:30 a.m. on Thursday and reportedly saw the body of the farmer lying close to a pig pen. The police were called, and upon their arrival, it was revealed that the now deceased had blood oozed from his face along with visual wounds. Upon closer examination of the crime scene, the lawmen also reportedly discovered that at least two of the animals had been traced of blood on their mouth and were showing signs of aggression. A resident, who gave his name only as Ralph, claimed that the farm was attacked and bitten by some of the pigs. But despite the speculation by residents, the police have not yet determined the cause of death. Police Commissioner urges cops to protect themselves amid recent attacks. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson is urging police officers to take the necessary steps to protect themselves in the wake of recent attacks by criminals. There have been several reports of police officers being wounded or killed by criminals in recent weeks. District Constable Mark Forsky was killed in one of the attacks in New York St. Thomas. A wanted man, who was said to be responsible for DC's killing, was fatally shot during an altercation with the police in St. Thomas. The police commissioner said the necessary resources have been provided for the police to defend themselves when confronted by criminals. Where there is a confrontation between cops and criminals, General Anderson said he expects that his police officers will win and that those criminals will meet their demise rather than the reverse. He maintained that no police officer should feel concerned or afraid to protect himself or any other member of the public who is being threatened by criminal gunmen.
Obviously, this is a visit to the family of District Constable Forsyth. I met his grandmother and I spoke to his mother, who's abroad at the moment, and other persons who were at the family home. This is a home that has raised many young people from the community. So District Constable Forsyth was somebody who was well known and loved in the community. It also gave me an opportunity to visit the station where he was stationed, that is up at Trinityville, and we're here now at Seaforth Police Station. Just met with some of the staff. There have been a few shootings of police officers recently. Well, unfortunately, District Constable Forsyth actually died, but there have been other cases recently where people have shot at police officers and also shot and injured some of them. I must say that one of the suspects in the shooting of District Constable Forsyth was fatally shot by the police yesterday in a confrontation near the Morant Bay roundabout, and a Gen 4 Glock was recovered from him. So we're still looking at the case to see if there are other persons involved so that we can arrest them if we get sufficient evidence that they were part of it. We also had a recent injury of a police officer in Grants Pen, simply doing a stop for a bike man. He got injured, but he was treated and released. And there have been a couple of cases in recent times. For most of them, the persons involved are either found afterwards, or in some cases, the criminals who do this type of thing meet their demise at the same time. I expect that where there is a confrontation, I've said this before, between criminals and my police officers, that my police officers will win, and that those criminals will meet their demise rather than my police officers. No police officer should feel concerned or afraid to protect himself or any other member of the public who is being threatened by criminal gunmen.
No charges yet in Nikita Noel case. There is still no one charged in connection with the death of 9-year-old Nikita Noel, who was found dead in Hanover 3 weeks ago. The person of interest remains in police custody. Young Nikita's body was found in bushes at the side of a road in her home community of Kew on February 1. Speculations are that she was raped before being strangled to death. A man who is said to be in a relationship with Nikita's mother, Nardia Edwards, was taken into protective custody after the child's body was found. Head of the Police Corporate Communications Unit, Senior Superintendent of Police Stephanie Lindsay, said all the procedures have been followed in order to keep the man in police custody as investigations continue. In certain investigations, if the mandatory time of 42 hours passes, we try and put the matter before a judge who will look at the circumstances and can do a remand pending investigations. So they would not have him in there without the proper remand in place, she told reporters on Tuesday. SSP Lindsay said the police are awaiting the results of a postmortem conducted on February 10, as well as the result of a forensic examination of items submitted. After that, the investigators, will make a determination as to how they proceed next, she said. 3 weeks ago, Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Area 1, Clifford Chambers, spoke of the ties the man in custody has to Nikita's family. We know that the mother's intimate partner, they had an issue between them, and that is one of the lines of inquiry which is being followed, ACP Chambers told reporters. Nikita, whose family members fondly called Joanna, was a student at Esher Primary. She reportedly traveled from school with her usual taxi driver. She and other passengers exited the cab at the usual spot, the front of a dirt road leading up to a hill to where her family lives. The child's mother raised an alarm after she did not return home and could not be found. Community members and the police launched a search, and her body was found a few feet from the entrance of her house. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.